He's a slippery eel of nothingness. He says nothing. He says nothing. He's a sociopathic, narcissistic, empty bag. And we vote for this guy.
Let's talk about Gavin Newsom today, because I think it's obvious that one of two things is true. Either A, he is a strong candidate to replace Biden in the event that happens, or B, if Biden seems like he's going to stay in the race, which all we know right now is that he is still in it, you see Gavin Newsom is starting to function as something of a de facto running mate, right? They're going to put him out in front of the camera. He's going to be doing his own campaign rallies on behalf of Biden, because obviously we know Biden himself is a vegetable, and cackling Kamala is not that great when she shows up in public either. And this is not speculation, because just this morning, Gavin Newsom held a campaign rally for Biden and Harris in Doylestown, Pennsylvania, which is near Philadelphia. And you see this picture right here. Now, hilariously enough, a Trump flash mob showed up to greet Gavin Newsom and counter-protest the event. So, that was pretty funny. And you may look at this video and say, well, that doesn't look like a huge counter-protest. I mean, isn't that sort of a bad turnout? And that might be true if it weren't for the fact that the Biden-Harris event itself, as you can see here, was clearly not that big. I mean, I don't know. Are they doing this in front of a insurance place or something? Like, I don't know what this building is. They're doing it in some random shopping plaza. It actually looks like a dental office is what it looks like. But you can see here, apparently one of these speakers at this Pennsylvania Biden-Harris campaign event asked everyone to move to the stage closer so that way the press could see them. All right, so they're basically saying, hey, let the camera show how big our event is. And I can see you guys, it doesn't look that big. Okay, you guys are in some like random shopping plaza or something. All right, let's take a listen. Check this out.
In the country. So we're gonna start in 2 minutes. I'm sorry, I know it's hot outside, but this is gonna be a fun event. We're gonna start in roughly 2 or 3 minutes. If I can ask people to start consolidating into the space. We just want to show how many people are here, right? And we got some friends in the back. Let's show the press how much energy there is to a real.
So how many people are there? 50? Maybe 100. Hold on. Let me actually zoom out, because you might think I'm like cropping this in. Okay. Wow, guys. What a huge event. Make sure we all get close to the camera so the media can see this. Unbelievable, folks. Unbelievable. But yeah, main event again at this rally was Gavin Newsom. Logan Dubel, who is a conservative reporter, puts out that I'm a Republican who attended Gavin Newsom's event in Doylestown, Pennsylvania today. So keep that in mind. We have a couple of just Republican reporters in the crowd, and still that's the turnout. So anyways, here is what I saw and heard. Democrats are the party of division. The entire time, speakers and members of the audience made fun of Republicans. One lady called the counter-protesters idiots and gave them the middle finger. So that's, classy as usual. Remember, Biden is the guy who was going to unify the country in 2020. I mean, that's obviously not true. That never happened. But Democrats are the party of fear-mongering. Each speaker, including Gavin Newsom, spread lies about Trump and the Republican Party to get people to vote for Biden. Trump wants to ban abortion. False. Trump encouraged January 6th. False. Trump has never done something that wasn't for himself. False. Democrats are worried about 2024. Why else bring in a governor from the West Coast? It's also embarrassing to see to come all this way just to speak to a group of 200 people, which is a generous number. And I can tell that didn't even really look like 200 people. But anyways, I attended the event to learn new things, but everything they said are the day-to-day of talking points spread by the Democrat Party. Anyways, there's the picture of him and Gavin. And yeah, I think it is a great point that highlights the desperation of the Biden campaign, that you need to fly out Gavin Newsom to do a campaign event in Pennsylvania. I mean, that does not really make a whole lot of sense. I understand Gavin Newsom has a degree of celebrity within the Democrat Party, but still, why isn't he campaigning in Arizona or Nevada? You know, at least on the West Coast in his part of the country. You send him all the way out to Pennsylvania instead of Gretchen Whitmer, instead of the sitting Democrat governor of PA, which apparently, I don't know, maybe he's not even down to campaign with Biden because he actually wants a political future. Frankly, I have no idea. But recently, Adam Carolla went on the Sage Steele show, and he had a great take on Gavin. And I think it's appropriate. We might as well start highlighting this to people because, again, whether or not Newsom replaces Biden, even if he doesn't, he's going to be one of Biden's top spokespeople. And this is the face they're going to put in front of the camera and say, you know, you may not like Biden because he's a vegetable. You may not like Kamala because she's annoying, but Gavin Newsom is going to be our little political weapon. He's going to be our surrogate. Well, let's see if that's necessarily true.
He's a slippery eel of nothingness. He says nothing. He says nothing. He's a sociopathic, narcissistic, empty bag, and we vote for this guy.
He's a slippery eel of nothingness. Which, by the way, is very accurate. You know, if you ever hear Gavin Newsom speak, especially in that big debate with Ron DeSantis, remember that? You know, he was slippery, don't get me wrong. But did he really say anything, right? Did he really argue anything? No. The guy's a master politician. You know, I'll give him that. And maybe that's arguably why if they substituted him last minute, he might be kind of dangerous. Because over time, the more people get to know Gavin Newsom, I'm from California originally. Trust me, I know all about him. You know, you find out you don't like the guy. But if you stick this guy in front of the camera when he's still unknown to most Americans outside of the West Coast, that could be dangerous. And that's why I think we need to highlight takes like this. So listen to Adam Carolla talk about this some more on Fox News.
What should we know about this governor? And are you astounded they keep saying he's the likely replacement should Biden fall flat on his face?
Well, he's kind of the face of politics and everything that's wrong with politics, which is just this weird aesthetic and a sort of, I'd like to have a beer with that guy versus anything good in the policy department. He's a disaster in the policy department. Newsom is. He's an empty bag. He's a 10-cent head, but he's mainly a sociopath. I've interviewed him on my podcast.
You took him apart.
I did.
Oh, I mean, he's completely a sociopath. Like, just look at him.
Because he lied, and then he lied, and then he doubled down, and he had no solutions. And he brought up a problem, tried to get some points, score some like intersectional points on it. And when I kept pressing him as to what the solution or the answer was, he had nothing. But he is kind of perfect for California because Californians are sort of vapid and dumb and, you know, superficial. And they're dumb enough to vote for a guy like this.
So interesting. He's got
the exact word I was looking for. Yeah, superficial. I mean, not to dog on my home state here, but we might as well do it. It's very true. Is, you know, the state that produces Hollywood and all the plastic surgery and all that stuff. Not exactly surprising that they would be so attracted to someone like Gavin Newsom and still continue to vote for him despite all of the obvious reasons not to. But that is exactly why I think all native Californian people with common sense need to call out Gavin Newsom, because this is obviously the play, whether he's the replacement or, again, they kind of just use his slick face to go in front of other parts of the country. And, you know, maybe that is actually why they sent him to Pennsylvania, is because if you're in Arizona, if you're in Nevada, news travels across the borders. You probably know all about California. I mean, a lot of the people who live there probably left California for that very reason. But if you're in PA, it's like, hey, I don't know much about Gavin Newsom, but, oh, he's a Democrat. Oh, he speaks very well in front of the camera. Oh, he looks good. Yay, Gavin Newsom. So that is, of course, the danger. And truly, I think if Gavin Newsom were forced to run a national election for a long enough time, he would get exposed, right? The veneer of him being so slick would eventually fall apart because people would find out, wow, the way he's run California is a complete disaster. I don't want that coming to my state, to the rest of my country. And B, you start to notice the guy, like Adam says, is a slippery eel of nothingness. You know, he lacks substance. He just says politician answers, and he refuses to answer actually any real questions. But of course, this is the danger, is if they put him in just right now, no one's going to know enough about him, and the time to expose that is not going to be long enough, number one. Or even number two, if they use him as just the face of the Biden-Harris campaign, how many people are really going to look that deep into it? And so that's exactly why I think we need to be calling this out, because every moderate person who's not, actually even a lot of Democrats, that includes a lot of registered Democrats, by the way, that I know from back home in Southern California, in Los Angeles growing up, none of them want Gavin Newsom to run for president, because they all see him, dude, he's such a terrible governor of this state. Look at homelessness, look at cost of living, look at crime. It's all insanity. Even a lot of Democrats I know from back home are not the biggest fans of Gavin Newsom, even if they're Trump deranged, even if they're so still anti-Republican. But of course, national voters don't really know that yet. They don't understand that yet. And so that's why, again, we need to be exposing all of this. So with that said, folks, let me know your thoughts about all of this in the comment section down below. Be sure to leave a like on this video, subscribe to the channel if you are new. And until next time, Alpha Moves Only, God bless. Have a very great rest of your weekend, and peace.